What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Sorry I've been a little MIA. It's wintertime here in Indiana, so not a whole lot of fun to be out in the garage when it's 30 degrees outside. So been a little MIA lately, but I have gotten a lot done on the Jeep. I want to discuss one of the mods I did actually just a couple weeks ago, because I feel like it's a super important mod for really any Jeep, but especially for the intermediate off-roader that's getting kind of serious. And that would be the Smittybilt SRC cage kit for the inside. So let's go check it out, guys. All right, guys, so before I start talking about it, I wanted to go ahead and show you what the cage looks like here. So it comes with a nice handle welded on here, which I really like that handle. As you can see, it attaches over here, covers up this panel, goes across the dash over there. And of course, there is a top bar as well. There is a back section. I'm not going to install it till springtime because I do have to take the full top off to do that. So definitely going to get that full installed. But this right here, the whole front section here is pretty darn safe for just using that alone. So overall, I really like the look of the cage. It came powder coated, which was a super nice thing. I did not want to have to fit it and then take it off and all that crap. It's not a fun time. It does have really nice 3-bolt collars here, so I really liked that. And they're weird because they're kind of like two-piece, but I feel like it adds a little bit more strength to it. Maybe that's just me. But really overall impressed with the look, the fit, all of it. It came together really nicely at a really good price point. All right, so just to start off here, why did I put a cage in my JKU? So one, I'm getting a little bit more serious about off-roading. I want to go on a lot more trips this year. To different parks and stuff, and it just gives me that little peace of mind. The stock cage in the JKs is not the strongest thing in the world. It's a little bit thin. It's just made kind of just for little impacts, not rollovers or anything like that. And your windshield is completely unsupported. So that kind of was a big factor for me. If I were to lean over on a tree or something, it would at least protect the windshield itself. So that was one very important aspect for me. Another thing is any passengers I might have, so my girlfriend or anything like that, it's super nice to know that that cage is going to protect us both in case of any issues that we might have. And another reason too, and this one's not really about the functionality, but I really like the look of the cage kit and just the overall feel inside the Jeep with that cage in there. It just feels like, it gives it a whole new feel inside the Jeep. It just feels super cool, almost like a tank feel. It's just awesome. So I love the feel of it, love the look of it as well as the safety aspect. So that's another thing too. If you really like the look, it's not a terrible price just for the looks of it. So, but it also protects very well. All right, and next, why did I go with the Smittybilt cage versus the Rock Hard 4x4 cage? And this one was a tough one because I actually bought the Rock Hard cage. And then that's when I got told about the really extended lead time on them. I really didn't want to wait that long. I'm kind of impatient when it comes to Jeep parts. So I really didn't want to wait the 30 to 60 day time that they had set forth. No fault to them. They have an awesome cage. It's by no means due to quality or anything like that. It was really just the availability. Also, the price point that this Smittybilt cage comes in at for the quality is very impressive. So you get a complete kit on this cage, and I got it for, I think it was $675 after some discounts on 4-wheel parts. So absolutely amazing price point for a full cage. So the Rock Hard only comes with the front section unless you pay another $200 on top of that for the rear section. So you get the full cage for a better price, and it shipped in 2 days. So I mean, it was just a no-brainer for me to go with the Smittybilt cage. Now comparing the Smittybilt side by side with the Rock Hard, because I know somebody that has the Rock Hard cage, they are literally almost exactly the same. The build quality is almost the same. The tubing's almost the same. I mean, it's very comparable. You're going to get around the same quality cage, in my opinion, going off of specs on both of the sites with either cage. So either cage is going to serve its purpose. Of course, there's not a lot of testing on these things because nobody wants to roll over their Jeep to test them out. But I feel very confident with this cage in my Jeep. Just to give you guys a little idea of the quality of the cage, super thick right here, and that goes all the way down the side. The tubing, very thick, very beefy, the exact same, in my opinion, as the Rock Hard as far as thickness goes. The same wall tubing. I mean, everything's almost exactly comparable. I do think the Rock Hard comes straight up, which I do like, versus the little crease it has here. But I think the fitment is a little bit better on this. I didn't have to do much trimming at all. On the passenger side here, I did have to trim back the molding just a little bit, but that'll be a kind of a Jeep by Jeep basis. So as you can see, it came together really nice, and the quality is just fantastic, especially for Smittybilt. I know they get a bad rap, but I'm telling you, this is a different product than the normal Smittybilt. This is a very well-built cage. All right, so now that I've talked about a few things that I absolutely love about this cage, and I would 100% buy it again for my next Jeep, but some of the things that weren't very great about it. So first thing is the trimming that had to be done to the soft top door surrounds. I trimmed off what felt like almost too much, and it still barely fit. Now this is a problem as well on the rock hard cage. I've heard you do have to trim the rock hard or the door surrounds for the rock hard as well. So this is just a cage kit thing all around, but it feels like for this one I had to trim a lot more than I was really comfortable with. But I did get it to work. So if you're installing this cage and you're having a little bit of trouble, just keep trying, keep pushing. It will eventually fit all together, no problems. So the problem is the weld up there at the front by the windshield. The collars just don't like to slide over that, and it makes it difficult to fit the door surrounds. So once I put the hard top back on, it is gonna be a little bit tough because I am gonna have to trim the freedom panels from what I've read online. I have not test fitted it yet, so that's gonna be a little bit of a struggle, but we'll get to that when it comes around. And truthfully, that's really the only complaint I have about the cage. I mean, everything went together really nicely. That was the only thing that kind of gave me trouble was fitting that overhead bar where the door surrounds are. That was the only thing that gave me trouble. Everything else fit together really nicely. Very surprisingly easy install. Now on the passenger side, where like the A-pillars were, I did have to trim a little bit on the molding back in the back, but that's a normal thing. It will be a Jeep by Jeep basis though, because the molding of course is not the exact same on every single Jeep. So that'll be Jeep by Jeep sort of. And I know I've seen a couple of YouTubers that had some issues with this, so was not hard to do at all. I just got a cutoff wheel, got back there. It was super easy to do. It took me maybe 5 minutes. So not hard at all. The drilling went really well. They give you a nice template to use. I believe I actually have one right here. Yeah, they give you a nice template. This goes onto where your door hinges are. Made the install super easy, made the drilling super easy. There was only 1 or 2 different bolts I couldn't get to line up. I was able to push them to get up most of them. There is still 1 bolt on one of the A-pillars I could not get to fit. But with it all together, structurally, it's very, very sound. So even without that 1 bolt, I'm feeling very confident in that cage. All right, and just to do a quick walkthrough of the install, it's super kind of straightforward, and there are a couple of videos on YouTube about it, so you can look up the full install videos for that, or the instructions on like Quadratech. That's where I found the printout instructions, and it also comes with them, of course. But just to start out here, first thing I did was I lined up the template onto the hinges, to like the ones they provide to you, and I drilled the holes. These lined up pretty nicely. It is kind of a tight squeeze, so if you have some trouble, you're gonna have a little bit of trouble probably. You do of course have to take the doors off to get to this, but the fitment, you have to push it all together to get the fitment final. So if it doesn't fit at first, once you get everything installed, kind of wiggle it, and I guarantee you it'll line right up. So that was one of the harder parts, was getting everything to line up here, because it's all just such tight fitment. And then next thing you want to do is get up in here, and of course you're going to take off your visors. This was the 1 bolt I could not get to line up, so I'm not sure what was going on there, but I do have the 1 bolt right here. That's a 13 millimeter. So you'll just zip that on up there. And again, you do not want to final tighten any of these bolts until the whole cage is together, at least for the windshield bar, because this windshield bar will not fit in if everything is completely tight on the A-pillars. And then next thing I did here, this is what I was talking about here with trimming the door surrounds. I had to trim off a decent amount here, and I was still able to get it fit on there. But yeah, you just got to kind of play with it to get it to work, but it will work. So don't get discouraged by that. Another thing I didn't mention as well in the pros of this cage is how these connect. I really like the connectors on here. It goes 1 bolt here, 1 bolt there. And as you can see, it's kind of like this poison spider cage really, but really like the way those come together. I feel super confident in the strength. And then up here, you are gonna have to drill, take this soundbar off and drill, but that's not a big deal. It's really not hard to do. It was, I think, 4 10 millimeter bolts. So you take those off, and then that's when you're gonna drill your holes. What I did is I actually connected this first, got it symmetrical, and then that's when I drilled the hole. So make sure you line everything up before you drill. But other than that, as you can see, the fitment, I do have the Best Top Trek Top NX. Everything fit really nicely as far as that goes. No issues there. Everything really slides together nice. As you can see, the interior gives it a whole different look. I just feel more safe driving the thing, especially off-road. So I'm super excited for this next wheeling season. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this video up. But as I said, I would 100% buy this cage again. I love the quality of the cage. Very, very comparable to the Rock Hard cage. So if you're in between the two, there is a long wait time for Rock Hard, but it is a very quality, well-made cage. Really like the Rock Hard cage. If it was in stock somewhere, I probably would have went with that one first. But for the price point, the kit, the strength, Smittybilt, great product. Really love it. So upcoming videos, guys, I did get a 4.5 inch set of coils, so I'm going up another inch to get a little more flex out of it. Also, not sure what coils these are, but they are sagging a very good amount. So I think they're just cheap Rough Country springs. I'm not sure. I thought they were Synergy, but I don't think they are. So gonna have to get those replaced. Not a big deal. I went with Metal Cloak, so I'll be installing those. I have some new lower control arms for the rear. I already did the front. Extended brake lines. What else do we got going on? Yeah, really, that's about it. Just really kind of getting everything tidied up, getting everything together. I'm going to do a review of the Best Top Trek Top that I put on over the winter. I know it's stupid, soft top in the winter, but absolutely love the cage. Oakley, absolutely love the cage, and I love that soft top. So two of my favorite mods I've done this winter by far. Sorry about that, my dog. Going nuts in the garage. But anyway, yeah, Best Top, Trek Top, absolutely love it. Great quality, great customer service too. I'll mention all that in the review. So that'll be coming out here in the next week or two. So definitely tune in, especially if you're looking for a Trek Top NX. So guys, it's really nice to be back. Sorry I was MIA for so long. But if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe. There is a lot more content coming, getting this Jeep ready for the next wheeling season. So looking forward to it, guys. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.